Yeah, hello. So here we are discussing the navigation for our honest application. Now, though I have already documented the navigation and the screens in the SRS, but this is for better understanding how the flow will go and what each screen is meant for, so we can understand the things better. Moreover, this is for understanding the flow. So the visuals, or we can say the user interface, will be far better and sharp in the real screen and when we get it in the production mode. So let's begin with our layouts. So this is actually this is my splash screen. So the splash screen, in the mean to say that this will be shown only for few seconds to the user, and once the user actually sees is that it'll remain just for 2 to 3 seconds, and then the user will actually navigate to the main screen. So the main screen goes as the main screen, and this will be our main screen from where the user will be differentiated in two main parts if he wants to work or if he wants to hire. However, if he wants to work, then basically both of them will be taken to a login screen, and both of them can enter their credentials, or else they can follow the Facebook login. However, if they haven't registered themselves, then obviously they can register themselves from here, and this will be a registration screen for the client. Similarly, the registration screen for if it is for service provider, then the registration screen will be different. Okay, so alright, so this is actually for the client. So client can put in their credentials, that is name, email address, phone number and password, and they can simply get in. However, if it is a service provider, so service provider will have to enter the name, email, phone number, address, city. So it is actually a two-step process, wherein first the service provider will enter all these details, and then at the second step, the service provider is actually going to select the categories in which he wants to post. So now, as this concern was raised in the previous session as well as in the document, so in each time, so he can set the price for each and every category he wants. For example, for category 1 he can set to 15 RON on, and for category 6 he can set to 13 RON, and so on. And once he receives the first work for his or her category, he will be taken to the payment page. For example, for when he receives the first work for category 1, he will be taken to the payment page and will have to pay for category 1. Similarly, once he selects category 6 and it is his first service in section category 6, he will be taken to the category 6 payment page. So he as written in the document previously, he will have to pay for each category, he will have to pay separately. However, after login, they will come here and they will simply come to this login screen, the homepage screen. The homepage screen will be presented like this, and first and foremost thing, he will start on with accessing all the categories. Okay, so these are the category list wherein the user can see all the categories, and user can see all the categories of he can search through the categories, and he can see how many service providers are present in this specific area. The top bar is the navigation bar. This is the navigation bar, and I'll just explain about the navigation bar. So herein, once the user selects this, so he can see the sidebar. Once he selects this one, so he can actually see the sidebar. the side menu wherein wherein he can see this number of services if it is a service provider, and completed services, and the subscription, and all these things. However, if in different case, the services list, the user can see all the services list, as this is the services list itself. So user can see all the services that a service provider has to provide or a client has to receive. So this is the service provider. And similarly, we have the chat area wherein we can see all the chat messages, and once we click on this, so we can get to these all chat messages. A user can see all the chat that he wants. Okay, so now similarly, when both of them press the deal, so both of them will see this kind of screen wherein it says that the deal and the category, the cost and description and ratings and all these things, and they will have to make the payment. So both of them, when they will agree to make a deal, they will be seeing this screen, and then they will be taken to the payment section. However, coming to the searching area, so as already explained, so once the user will actually start searching, so he will be presented with this screen. User can start searching, and then user can left swipe as well as right swipe, right? And if user will tap on the specific user, so he will be taken to the profile of the user, wherein user can see all these details. User can see if he's a user, what is his ratings and the description, and common friends, and all the kind of description that we want to put in here can be seen here. However, and then third part is managing the profile. So in managing the profile, we can easily see that this is user can manage his or her profile. So we can easily go to this page and we can edit. So this is for service provider. So service provider will edit the categories, he will edit the profile as well as the settings, the common settings, whatever he sees, he can make those common settings. However, this edit categories will not be present in case of if the user is a client. This will only be present if the user is a service provider. And the layout for settings will be common, as we have already seen previously in the document, that it will be common settings area. Similarly, user can edit the categories, and user can edit his own profile, he can change the description. However, after the service has been received, once the service has been received, so this is again the service list. The service list can be seen, and if the user likes, the client likes a service provider, so client can request for a service. Client can actually request for a service, and user will be actually service provider will be seeing these requests. And if the service provider, so service provider will be seeing this request in this format, service list, he will be seeing the requests. So if the service provider accepts, then basically they can press the deal button from here also, and they will be taken to the main home screen. So this is a small navigation, UI navigation,